The latest spike in tensions in northern Kosovo is deeply concerning. Violent protests in northern Kosovo on the 29th of May resulted in injuries to at least 30 troops from NATO's KFOR mission, along with 50 civilians, including journalists. Since then, the mood has calmed slightly, but tensions remain high. Daily protests are continuing around municipal offices in the 4 Kosovo Serb majority municipalities, where Kosovan authorities are insisting that newly elected ethnic Albanian mayors should work and be based. Mr. Speaker, we are working closely with international partners to de-escalate the situation and encourage a return to dialogue.
We then saw orchestrated violence on the streets by Belgrade-funded and armed militias against KFOR and the police. There were Molotov cocktails, there was firing of guns against them, there was setting on fire of police cars. So can I please ask my right honourable friend, why was there such a disproportionate and unbalanced response by our allies? It is wrong that the US and EU chose to attack Kosovo with no criticism of the armed militias who created the situation. A democratic ally bore the brunt of those sticks. Secondly, what countermeasures are we putting in place with Belgrade? Because at the moment it appears to be a failure of deterrence diplomacy. How does our policy differ from the US and the EU? Because we are too quiet on what is happening right now. And can we finally call out these Belgrade armed and funded militias who, when an individual says, no, I don't want to support your militia, finds a grenade outside their child's doorstep the next day? This is intimidation in its worst sense. And finally, how are we supporting Serb Kosovan communities in the north to make sure they can live the lives they want and they can participate in democracy without foreign interference having a chilling effect on democracy in Kosovo?
The government is exercising a very responsible role in this matter. It's a part of the world, as she knows, that we know extremely well. We emphasise the importance of dialogue. We emphasise the importance of de-escalation. My right honourable friend, the Prime Minister, had a chance to mention these matters when he met the President of Kosovo on the 1st of June.
In January, I visited Kosovo. Its people remain hugely grateful for the NATO intervention in 1999, led by the then Prime Minister Tony Blair and President Clinton, which brought bloody violence not witnessed on European soil for decades to a halt. We're proud of our historic actions, but it's crucial Britain plays its part now too. We must remain focused on de-escalation and the re-establishment of constructive dialogue between Pristina and Belgrade, to uphold the sovereignty of both Kosovo and Serbia, ensure the rights of minorities on both sides of the border, and protect democracy.
The UK stood by Kosovo in the best and worst of times and will continue to do so. And in respect of the elections that took place, we are clear that they are legal, but it does look as if they lack legitimacy.
As the Prime Minister's trade envoy to the Western Balkans, both Serbia and Kosovo fall within my brief. And I recognise the importance of stability in the area if we are to encourage UK businesses to take advantage of the great opportunities that exist there. And I fully support my right honourable friend's comments about de-escalation. Only if we reduce the tension can British businesses look to that area to benefit the economies of both Serbia, Kosovo and the wider region. Could I urge my right honourable friend to do all he can to, as he said, de-escalate the situation?
Kosovo must now enable mayors to work from locations outside municipal offices and withdraw special police units from the vicinity. Serbia needs to reverse its decision to raise the level of readiness of its armed forces at the border with Kosovo and use its influence to encourage an end to the violent protests. And all parties must exercise maximum restraint, avoiding inflammatory rhetoric and actions.
What investigation is the Foreign Office undertaking on the involvement of Belgrade and possibly the Kremlin in manipulation and misinformation around the elections that led to such a poor turnout? Prime Minister Kurti has said he is open to rerunning the elections to try and establish support and legitimacy. But should these go ahead, what actions would the Foreign Office and the embassy officials take to assure these go ahead safely and that both communities take part?
We are not in any way naively equating the two sides. She asked at the beginning of her question about the action we were taking to deter the violence, and we view the attacks on KFOR personnel as completely unacceptable. We've been clear in Belgrade that attacks on NATO personnel are unacceptable, and that any claims that KFOR attacked peaceful protesters are completely unfounded. And many of those responsible for attacking KFOR troops were not peaceful protesters. They came with the means and intent to pursue violence. And as far as her comments are concerned about the activities of the Russians, the British government, along with its allies, particularly those in the Quint, is acutely aware of the issues to which she is referring.